Hello and welcome to my video. Today we're going to talk about another message, a communication from a spirit. And this is actually a very high spirit, and this has a very high degree of authenticity. This is from the message from the Spirit Ishmael, who is known as the protector of Brazil, and he is in charge of Brazil, and he's also in charge of helping Spiritism spread in Brazil and in North America. And this is concerning the current pandemic. The Spirit Ishmael was the firstborn of Abraham, as mentioned in the Old Testament. This is one and the same person. This type of high spirit working on our behalf should illustrate all the care and importance the spirit world takes in leading all life on earth to become a better world. Now, let me tell you how I received this information. This was a voice transcript from the Brazilian actress Ana Rosa, who is the mother of Patricia. Patricia was the spirit who sent the book. She died at an early age. Violets on the Window to Vera, Lucia, Marinzeck, to Carvalho. I highly recommend this book. First, how I translated this message into English. I use an audio translation program to record the words written in Portuguese to a Word document. This document is quite lengthy. It's over 2,000 words. Next, I use Google Translator to translate the Brazilian Portuguese into English. Lastly, I clean up the translation, since from audio to written Portuguese to English, errors and bad syntax can occur, not to mention just the regular translation from Portuguese to English. Therefore, for those who have heard the original audio, please send me comments on any substantial mistakes I may have made. I certainly had to rewrite several sentences to make them more readable by English-speaking people, and I may have misinterpreted a concept or two. Overall, I think it's directionally correct, probably a little bit better than that. Before I forget, please share this video. Please hit the like. Please subscribe. If you can hit the like and share the video, that really helps the YouTube algorithm. So again, concerning this message, and I'll start. Overall, this message conforms to the other messages I have been presenting to an English-speaking audience over the past weeks concerning the COVID-19 pandemic. But there are several interesting points of information we should all analyze. So this is the message from Ishmael, the spirit, about the coronavirus pandemic, also known as COVID-19, also known as the Chinese or Wuhan virus. My dear ones, good morning. This message received between the 17th and 18th of March 2020, dictated by the Spirit Ishmael. My beloved children, with great regret that I speak for this instrument of today, because the globe is in an emotional collapse, generating harmful energy and discharges harmful vibrations to our community, spreading hysteria and fear in our psychosphere, affecting the entire spiritual zone. We on the spiritual plane see this event happening to everyone as the infamous wars of the last century. Let me stop there for a second and explain. We were told in the book No Solar, and in other books besides, but it's really in plain English in the book No Solar, that during World War II, the other planets, the spiritual planets said, you need to kind of shield the earth from us, because all these negative thoughts, remember World War II, people were dying just constantly, and there was negative energy all over, and that this was affecting not just the earth itself and the spiritual heavens around the earth, but it was affecting even other planets. And therefore, again, he is saying that we're seeing this kind of collective negative thinking happening here on earth again. And this is something we don't want, because we are working towards from a planet of atonement to a planet of regeneration. And this is going to change our vibration and our harmony as a collective and as the planet itself. I'll carry on. Brothers, keep inner peace, especially if you already have enough understanding. Do not let fear make you instruments of discord. Unloving, inferior spirits have been orchestrating several attacks for weeks. Some were shunned by divine mercy. However, many people who have been consciously frail, this negative attack was carried out by the incarnated, meaning those who are spirits on, the inferior spirits through their negative thoughts that harm many at the core of being. So let me stop there and explain this again. We are all surrounded by spirits. We're surrounded by good, bad, and indifferent spirits. The spirits surrounding who are caught in the umbral or lower zone, they are spirits who have not left the earth. They have not left materialism. They could be criminal spirits, right? Any of these things. And they have in their mind not our best benefit, right? They do not want our planet to move from a planet of atonement to a planet of regeneration. Why is that? Because just like in the Catholic doctrine about the apocalypse, those spirits who have not learned, who have not improved themselves, will be sent to other planets. Therefore, these inferior spirits do not want us to rise higher in the hierarchy of planets. This is why whenever the spirit world does something to help us move forward, they try and stop it and have us either stay or move backward. And then, of course, when he says harmed many at the core of their being, that is harmed their consciousness, right? Harmed their amount of love and fraternity and charity, which is all important to all of us right now, and being calm about the situation. They are trying to have them have doubts about their immortality of their soul and the goodness of God and the spirit world. Now carry on. We have enlisted all possible resources to contain the advance. However, divine free will in the universe opened the door to yet another expiation. Of course, as he's saying, we have free will, right? And we can choose to face this problem with fear and negative thoughts, or we can face it positively. I'll carry on. That collective expiation follows its course in the light of divine laws. As a result, we are doing our best with many prayers for humanity, as well as we sent many phalanxes that came from other areas at the request of our mentors of a higher order who have vast knowledge in cosmic genetics. With the mastery necessary for immediate assistance in a few days, vaccines will be synthesized and perfected to have plausible effectiveness and distribution in the viral fight. Let me stop there. So he's saying they're getting help from other planets, from other spiritual spheres. It may not be physical planets, but other physical spheres. And that they are working themselves on something to fight these negative thoughts and fight these viruses that are in our air. And so he may also be talking about vaccines will be synthesized even here on Earth and our physical plane, which they are being. And this was in March 17th and 18th. So that's we've already heard now as of April 6th that these vaccines have been created, but of course they'll take a while for their physical trials. Now we'll start the next paragraph. We sent spirits specializing in helping the sick to recover and reduce the suffering of our beloved brothers who received the most painful discharge in this initial phase of contagion, because over time it loses its strength. We take all measures possible and ask in the depths of our heart to help us and keep us in physical and mental vigilance, as it is not only a matter of spread, but also of intensity. Let me stop there again. He says over time it loses its strength. I think people are seeing this. We shall see. This is something that is not only being fought by our human actions, being fought on our benefit in the spirit world by higher and pure spirits. So take that to heart. Know that you're not in this fight alone. Be calm and cool under this circumstance. Now, this is important, and this has been in other messages, but this is very explicit. The person who contracts and maintains the energy vibration in relative balance, you will feel your symptoms less and dramatically decrease your mortality. Let's stop there for a second. This is important. So those who maintain their energy vibration, right? In balance, right? What does that mean? All your chakras are in balance. How do your chakras get out of balance? You're stressed, you do something wrong, you feel guilty, you don't follow your conscience. All those things. Meditate and prayer all help you create a more calm feeling about yourself and get yourself in a vibrational harmony. And what the spirits are telling us, if this will help you, this will get you through that sickness and really lower the rate of which people who are in balance will die. Now, some people who are perfectly the most wonderful people on earth will still die. Now, why is that? We've been told in other messages because some people need to exit this earth at this time so they can come back rather quickly to help us continue on to our journey to be a planet of regeneration. So that's why you'll see exceptions. We'll start again. Many are even imperceptible, meaning some people don't even know they have it, which we have seen. It is obvious, of course, that other factors exist in that equation. However, the factor that increases your mortality is your disordered emotions, which decrease your blood cells responsible for immunity. And this has actually even been proven by science that, is the people who are spiritual and believe in a higher power are healthier than people who don't. So this is now the next important part. I want to appeal to you, pray a lot, calm the people around you, because God is in control. It is during these hours of crisis that he wants to count on his workers. How many people have passed through time? How many miseries have affected humanity? How many disasters have devastated our planet? We have all been through it all, and we are stronger than ever. This time will be no different. Again, he is telling us, we've had these disasters. People who lived through World War II lived through something much worse than we are living through now. So, and it doesn't, help at all to lose one's control. Don't let fear affect you. Don't let anxiety affect you. Know that you will be successful. Think positive, and positive things will happen. I will continue. We will overcome another obstacle. The inferior spirits I referred to are in need of fear and hysteria, so that people are easily manipulated by spreading erroneous messages of fear and aggression, and as a result of fear are less able to withstand the virus, and these people also spread fear. So, look at most of our media, not all, but most of our media today. That's all they are worried about is spreading fear, asking questions that try to, place blame. It's not the way to act at all. Please, either turn those off, turn those programs off. Look, something helpful, documentaries, good older movies, but don't listen to our current culture and our media today. It is negative, and they are just helping the inferior spirits spread fear and make us all unbalanced. Let me carry on. Which is attracted by the thought of the emitter dispersed in the spiritual field, because the viruses are also living microorganisms, so they also respond to thought, right? Our thoughts permeate through everything. Here on the spiritual plane, they are not confined. They have more freedom to move around. For this reason, we ask you to stop thinking about this problem all the time. It hurts everyone. Try to get on with your lives as much as possible. Again, very extremely good advice, right? Get on your life, do your work from home, keep exercising. I know it's not easy, but get your mind off the negative, right? Get positive thinking. We are following solid guidelines. Dr. Bezerra de Menendez, who worked with me with regard to physical, emotional, and spiritual illnesses, he begs all of you to take all the necessary precautions, including helping your neighbor. If it is not within you to feel that you should help by staying at home and sending positive prayers as well as words of comfort by electronic means, then please ask Jesus so he may bless your task on your behalf. So, if you need, get on social media, tell people calm down, call up your friend, give them, messages, Zooms or WhatsApp, whatever thing you use. Tell people, look, we'll live through this. Maybe don't worry about it. Be positive, meditate and pray. This is all going to help you. If you think you are able to supply a helping hand to those who live through their daily crisis, then Jesus blesses you doubly, because many are at the mercy of the virus and negative thoughts and require material and emotional resources supplied by others such as you. Again, they're asking, we're all on this together, right? We're all on this planet of atonement together, and it takes us, the positive ones, to bring up the ones who are a little less sure of themselves, and this is our time to shine and be helpful. Now carry on. We understand that nobody is reckless or that he sacrifices himself in the wrong way. What we ask is to help without God helping, meaning, can you help yourself? Don't just sit and be passive. We want people who are active and not sick. At this point, we should not criticize anyone's choice, because each person can help in their own way. What would happen to the patient if the doctor refuses to examine him or her? What would be of the doctor without the help of the rescuer who takes the patient to bed? What would happen to the rescuer without the help of the helping hand that warns the patient waiting until his arrival? Each part is important to the scale of life, and it is not wise to criticize the other. Leave critiquing to the one who judges ultimately and knows all the motives of all actions. Again, he's telling us, don't criticize, don't blame people for what's going on. Don't look for, the negative stories and negative programs on, especially these news programs. Look for, positive things, because, and don't say, oh, this person is responsible. No, look, we've talked about, Spiritism before, and Spiritism is based on the fact that we are immortal souls who are born time and time again. We're reincarnated, and that karma, our karma of our past lives, of our current lives, determines what our trials are going to be in our next life. So any of those who are being negative, who are helping this virus spread, or have done wrong things on purpose, many people do wrong things. I do all the time by accident, because we don't know it's wrong. We thought we were doing our best. But those who do wrong things and are trying to spread fear, they will be taken care of by the spirit world. Brothers, we work together in the Lord's work with faith, courage, and willpower, so that we, imperfect beings, may be worthy of his mercy, and that we can overcome another stage of this beautiful story that is called the rise of humanity in the scales of the universe. Peace and good to everyone, so be it. And that is the end of the message. Now, this was a very long message, and I have usually on these messages, I put them below in the description, but this one was so long, I left a link to my site, nwspiritism.com, that will take you to that link, and you can see the entire message. So, please read it yourself, analyze it, filter it, and act as you think you should act. So, in summary, this message isn't that different from the other message, but what is different is is Ishmael, who is a very high spirit, has sent this message. Now, this was sent to the people of Brazil. This was in Portuguese, but I'm sending it on to the people of the world, the people who speak English of the world, and this is important. It all pertains to us, the common humanity. And Ishmael is a very high spirit. He's talked about in the Old Testament. He's talked about in the Quran. He's been a person involved in the ascendancy of Earth for who knows how many thousands of years. So, this is extremely important. And so coming from him, and also coming and telling us in Dr. Bezerra de Menezes, who was one of the Kickstarter, the re-Kickstarter of Spiritism in Brazil, many, over 100 years ago, is very important. It shows you how much they're trying to communicate with us. And this is exciting, because this is a preview of the future. When we become a planet of regeneration, communicating with the other side is going to be more and more normal. Now, I understand that in the Catholic doctrine is you should not talk to spirits, and there are good reasons for that, because a lot of times there are inferior spirits that don't mean well for us, can give us bad messages. But Spiritism, and it was codified and codified by Allan Kardec, has really have very important steps. In fact, you can read about that in quite a few books. And really is the Mediums book by Allan Kardec. You can find that on PDF. And there's the Domains of Mediumship. But the mediums in the Spiritist centers, they go through years of training. And they don't meet just one person by themselves and write down whatever spirit. No, there's a group of mediums around the table. And they write or read these messages. And they all talk about it. And in these Spiritist groups, these mediums meetings, they hold them on the same time of the week, right? And that's why the spirits can protect that, so they only let spirits in who they want to talk to, right? So this is all very controlled, and it is, I won't say complicated, but I think it is thorough, and it helps. Now, it doesn't mean it's perfect. Nothing is perfect. That's why we're here on this planet. But this shows you that Spiritism will bring more and more messages from the spirit world to help guide humanity as a whole to become a superior planet. So I want to thank everyone for listening to this message. Again, please spread it far and wide. And if you want to see how I found Spiritism, you can read my book, The 7 Tenets of Spiritism. And it's more of my personal journey into the signs and signals that occurred to me. So then I say, oh my heavens, there is predetermination. That was just a complete emotional wrecking ball to me, that there is predetermination, that our life is planned out beforehand. So these things, if I can help anyone get into this and understand it and study Spiritism, I think that would really help balance your chakras, help balance your vibration and harmony, and make you a much happier person. God bless.